It seems like the big new thing for all note-taking apps is tables. Now, maybe this isn't actually a big new thing, and maybe this is actually something that, has existed for a long time. I guess it's been around in Notion for a while. But either way, seeing your notes in tables and being able to organize tables is really valuable, not just for notes, but also for tasks and lists and everything else that these note-taking people can dream up. Anytype actually has a really great built-in feature for these, where you basically make a table in its own note and then import that into other notes in different views. So we're going to be looking at that today. I've completely wiped my vault here because I think it's easier to illustrate from the ground up as opposed to building off of previous videos. That way you can actually come and see one video on the thing that you want as opposed to having to watch through my entire playlist. Although that would be kind of convenient for views. But, either way. So let's start with just a simple page, a home page. Because we're going to have one of these for putting our notes in. And then I'll just open this up to the full screen, and then we can see we have favorites, recents, and sets. Now, sets is what we're actually interested in looking at here. When we hit the plus button, it takes us to this create new page. And one of the presets for this is, you can see here, a set. Now, sets, again, are basically just like a table of all of your notes, but you can sort them by certain things. Remember, one of the best things about Anytype is that it has these types that you can sort by. So we'll hit set, and then we'll add a description, and we'll say this is the book list. Now, it's automatically asking us for a query here, object type all. So we can add a different relation in terms of, instead of being an object type, something else. Anytype has two different kinds of data. It's got objects and it's got relations. Relations are basically a specified tag, so something like the artist, the length, etc. And the objects are more descriptions of what the page is. So you can set up templates with objects. The object is the preset for the page, and the relations are things that relate the pages to each other. So for example, a book page might have the relations of length, date read, the author, etc., but it's still a book object. We'll just say object type, and then it'll show us all of the object types that we can select from. I'm personally going to do books because this is a book list, and of course I only have one in here. Now, something that's really cool about the Anytype sets is that they show up uniquely on the side here. They're their own page, basically. So if you want to just view this set, you can, but if you want to put this in a note and make it all aesthetic with, a title and lines and colors and whatever weird things that note people like to do, that's completely possible as well. You just have to put that into a separate note. But first, let's look at this. So if we open up 12 Rules for Life, we can see all of the data here. So I give it 5 stars, I have a length, completed, all of that information. So what I can do with this now is actually put it into the table. If I click this right here, and I can select one of these different buttons, basically. So I can add a new relation, and let's say author, right here, and it's going to pre-fill it in. If I do the same thing with, pages, maybe that's not the one. What was it? What did I call it? Length? There we go. Do the same one with length, it'll pre-fill it in. So you can set all of these different pieces of information in this table. Now let's say we want to make a new book. Well, it's pretty simple. We would just come down to the book list and hit create new object, and then type in whatever name we want. We'll call this The Art of War. And then once that's created, when we click on that, it brings us to our book object type with the book value pre-filled in. I believe this is one of the templates that comes with Anytype by default. So if you want to try this at home, all of this information should be here in some form or other kind. So you can put in all of the information into here, and then it's going to show up in your table. So it's basically a way to create these tables in a very simplistic form. Remember, everything is organized by types, and everything has relations. So we're sorting by the object's type of book, and all of these are the relations that it has. So now that we see we have a basic table here, I don't really want to go through filling it out with all that kind of information, but just remember, you will always create a new object of the object type that you're sorting by, and all these relations will stay over. But let's say we wanted to put this actually into a page. Well, we click plus down here, and there's no preset for type page. We just type a title and press enter, and it'll automatically switch to page. So if I say it's the book list, then press enter, you see this turns into page. Now I could change this to all of these other ones out here or make my own, but I'm going to stick with this as it stands. So I have this here. How do I put the book list into it? Well, first of all, I'll just add some nice things to it, and then I'll go /inline set, add existing or create new inline set to this object. I'm going to add an existing one. So I'll choose the book list. Here's the book list. Now, what if I'm from Notion? What if I want to see all my book covers? Well, that's pretty simple. I can just click on the settings, and then view, and then view as. So you can view them all as different things here. I like gallery. Gallery is pretty cool, and then I can also change all of the images here. So The cover can be the page cover. That way I get, Jordan Peterson staring at me. If I have that at none, it does the same thing. Card size you can change to small, medium, or large. And then, of course, there's also list and Kanban. I don't know really why you want Kanban or Kanban or whatever it is, but they're here. They exist. I'll keep it as gallery. I'll set the size to medium, and I'll set the cover to the cover. Okay, cool. And now what this also allows me to do is I can put stuff down here if I want. So I can, another list. This is actually a great place to illustrate the fact that I can just create a list on the fly. So let's go down here, inline. I want to just create a new list. So I will hit create new set. It's going to pop up right here on the side, you'll see. And then object type all. I'm going to choose object type as note. So it's going to have all of my note objects. Now I don't have any note objects, so it's pretty simple to just create a first object. And then I click here, this will bring me to my page. Now, this is reading off of the type note. It's using the default template for note. Templates are something we can look at in another video, but they're basically tied to the object type that you have. So it's using the note template, which doesn't have a header or a title. It just automatically goes to this. So I'd say, like, this is a note. I'll press escape to be done with it. It's automatically going to pop into here. If I hit new, it's going to add another note, and then I can say, as note. Now this is really great because it allows you to basically make a repository of all of your notes inside of a table. So let's say I had this in a page that's for my school notes, right? So I have all of my notes on, let's say, like my Java class. I can just go down here and press a new one, and then it automatically has a new one right here. So it allows you to deal with these notes in incredibly simple ways and construct them incredibly quickly and efficiently. Anytype sets are a little bit different than their competitors in Notion or maybe Obsidian, but they really allow you to search your notes and create your notes in unique ways. And the ability to see all of your sets on the side allows you to quickly jump to the thing that you want. If you don't have a book list, that's fine because you can store it in a set. And if you don't want to have a note that stores all of your school notes, that's okay, because it's right here on the sidebar in your sets. It's collapsible, but you can easily see your sets, you can easily access your sets and your tables inside and outside of notes.